Hello friends, welcome back to Coding Interviews channel. Hope you are doing great. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I have created bunch of playlists to cover various categories of problems such as BFS, DFS, stacks, queues, linked lists, trees, graphs, dynamic programming and so on. Please check them out. I have uploaded the code for this particular problem to the GitHub repository. You can get the link from description below this video. Let's jump into today's problem. Range sum of sorted subarray sums. Given array nums consisting of n positive integers, you computed the sum of all non-empty continuous subarrays from the array and then sort them in non-decreasing order, creating a new array of n into n plus 1 by 2 numbers. Return the sum of the numbers from index left to index right. So index is starting from 1 as opposed to 0. Okay, so left is starting from 1 possibly, right? Inclusive in the new array. Since the array answered can be a huge number, return it modulo 10 to the 9 plus 7. So basically from the description it doesn't sound like very clear, right? So we are given with a array, right? Array of positive numbers. So there are n positive numbers, let's say, right? And the task that we are asked to do is we are trying to compute the sum of the non-empty subarrays, right? Sum of the non-empty subarrays. And you are going to sort those sums, right? You're going to sort those sums. And once the sums are sorted, right? And from them, you're asked to get the sum from index left to index right. So we don't know what is that index left and right yet, right? So we will be given that indices numbers, okay? So that means the first thing that we need to do here is, for a given array, what are the possible subarrays, right? So if there are n numbers in that particular thing, right? So there are n into n plus 1 by 2 subarrays, right? So if there are n numbers, then there are n into n plus 1 by 2 subarrays, right? So just to give you a better understanding, right? I took the same example as this one, example 1, 2, 3, 4, and the subarrays will be like you just take 1. We are said contiguous subarrays, right? So basically, whatever the subarray that you are going to pick, it has to be continuous. Whatever the elements that you are going to pick, they should be continuous, right? So that means 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say this is our array. That means 1. That is a single element. So single element, you don't worry about the continuous or not, right? And then, so 1, 2. That is our next subarray, right? 1 and 2. So those are two continuous elements in the original array. Now the third one is 1, 2, 3. Yes, they are contiguous. 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously the entire array is a subarray, right? We don't have to worry about. And that means we are able to cover the first 4 subarrays with that. But is that all? Not really. So you could just take 2. That will be a subarray with element 1, right? Single element basically. And 2, 3 is another subarray. 2, 3, 4 is another subarray. So those are another 3, right? And 3 is a subarray and 3, 4 is another subarray. There is one more, is 4, which is 4, right? So these are the 10 different subarrays possible for a given array. So if you have to outline our approach, what we have to essentially do, right? So for a given array, we need to get all those subarrays. So we got those subarrays and calculate the sum for each subarray. So I have here the sum, right? 1, 3, 6, 10, 2, 5, 9, 3, 7, 4, right? And sort those sums, right? So for the above example, right, if I have to sort them, it will be 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, right? So these are the sums that I sorted. Now get the sum from left to right. So if left is, let's say left is equal to 2, right is equal to 3, right, let's say. So remember, indexed from 1, so that means, so this will be 1, this is 2 and 3. So sum of 2 to 3 is what? 2 plus 3 is 5. That is what the answer is. But here the step 2 and 3 look straightforward, right? You just sort those sums and get from left to right. These are straightforward. We don't have to spend any more time on that, right? So you sort those sums and then get the sum from left to right. That's straightforward. And the thing that we need to really worry about is how to get those subarrays and calculate the sum of each subarray. So let's say if you have to get those subarrays and calculate, right? So getting the subarray is going to take n square time, right? N square time, and calculate the sum is going to take another n, right? So that means it will be a n cube solution, right? If you look in one way, right? So you get the subarray and then try to get the sum, right? That's going to be an n cubed solution, which will be very expensive for this. So what we are going to do is, instead of following this, right, we will come up with another technique, right? The technique that I am going to use as part of the code will be based on the cumulative sum, right? So instead of this 1, right, 1 and 1.1, the steps whatever I have given here, we will take those off and have another brand new step, new approach basically. What we are going to do is, first calculate cumulative sum, right? What is the cumulative sum? Cumulative sum is for this array, right? For this array, cumulative sum will be 1, 3, 8, 12, right? Is that 12? 1, 3, 3 plus 3 is 6 actually, and 10, right? So that's a cumulative sum. So the number 1, we just put 1, and at this location what we are going to do is sum of these two numbers. What is 1 plus 2 is 3, and at this location 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. At this location 1 plus 3, 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 1, 3, 6, 10. So now generate subarray sums, right? Subarray sums from this cumulative array. This is what we are going to do. So that means instead of getting the subarray and calculating the sum, what we essentially are doing is first get the cumulative sum, and from these 4 numbers generate all the different subarray sums, right? So how are we going to generate that is the question, right? So what essentially that we did when we get the cumulative sum, we added the elements up to that index. So here 3, right? Up to that index we added until 1 plus 2. We added 1, 2, 3. We added 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that's how we got the cumulative sum. In order to calculate all the different subarray sums, right? So what is a subarray? If you want to calculate the sum from subarray 2, 3, 4, what we essentially need to do, what is sum of 2, 3, 4? 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 9, right? So can we generate 9 from this cumulative sum? So 10 minus 1, right? So what we are looking is, we want the sum of these, we just want to remove 1 from it. So what is the sum at 4 is 10. What is the sum until 1 is 1. Just subtract those two numbers. 10 minus 1 is 9. So that is the technique that we are going to use. So 3, 4, what is the sum? Is 7. How are we going to get? This is the sum, right? We need to remove the sum until this from here. Until this the sum is 10, but until this sum is 3. 10 minus 3 is 7. 3 plus 4 is 7. So Essentially, we are not generating the subarray, but from this cumulative sum, we are going to generate all the different sums for a given subarray, right? So that is a technique that we are going to use. So once we have all the different sums, right? Step 2 is just sort those sums, and step 3 will be get the sum from left to right. As we said, these two are straightforward. We spent our time in minimizing of our effort to calculate the subarrays and their sum respectively. So now we don't even get what is a subarray, right? From this cumulative sum, we are trying to generate the input required for step 2, right? Let's go ahead and look at the code for this. And one more thing, here it said the answer can be a huge number and return it modulo by 10 to the 9 plus 7, right? So this is an important thing. So just for this sake, I have a mod declared as 10 to the 9 plus 7, right? And subarray sums, so I have created a list for it, right? And I have a cumulative array which is also equal to the length n, right? So length is given n and nums, we are supposed to add up the numbers from left to right in the subarray sums anyway, right? So what we are saying is cumulative is this array. So now just put whatever the first element into the cumulative, that means 1 and 1, they are same, right? So the first element will be same, and from the second element onwards you do the cumulative sum. While you do the cumulative sum, add those sums to the subarray sums, right? Because these sums will be also part of the subarray. Do you have 1? Yes. We have 3? Yes. We have 6? Yes. We have 10. But apart from those 4 numbers, we have other 6 numbers also, right? So now we will see how are we going to generate those other 6 numbers. It will be pretty simple now. So we will be going through the cumulative array, right, and generating those subarray sums and adding them to the subarray sums, just like we did in the previous example, right? Whatever the logic that we looked at. If we want to get the sum for these two numbers, it's 10 minus 3, the sum so far, right? So wherever you are minus from wherever you want to calculate. Simple. Wherever you are and from wherever you want to calculate. That's cumulative j minus cumulative I minus 1. That is going to define or give you the subarray sum, right? So with this 2 for loops, we are able to calculate the subarray sums. But now that we have all those subarray sums, the next step is sort them. That's what we are doing. Just sort them. And once you sort, all you are going to do is left to right. Why did I pick the left minus 1? Because it said they are indexed from 1. But in our list or array, the indexing starts from 0. That's the reason why I going with left minus 1 until right. Calculate the sum. While you do calculate the sum, do a mod with the mod value. What is that? 10 to the 9 plus 7, right? Finally return the sum. So that's how we are able to solve this particular problem, right? So now let's go back and look at the time and space complexity for this, right? Time and space. So we are given there are n numbers, right? Good. So how much time we need to calculate the cumulative sum? It will be order of n, right? Plus how much time to get all the subarray sums? It will be order of n to the n square, basically order of n square, plus how much time it is going to take the sum from left to right? It's probably left minus right, order of, right? But in the worst case, if you have to calculate if left is equal to 1 and right is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2, it will be equal to n into n plus 1 by 2, right? Which we don't know what the number is going to be, right? So it will be a simple number. So even if you say it is going to be n squared, right? So let's say order of n into n. So the total, right? The total will be order of n square, the time complexity, right? Go to the space complexity. How much space we are using here? We are using a space for storing all those sums, that's one, and we are storing the cumulative sum, right? Cumulative sum, it will be straightforward, order of n, right, plus subarray sums. How many elements will be there in the subarray sum? It will be order of n into n plus 1 by 2. So essentially order of n square. So that means the total space complexity will be order of n square, right? So time complexity is order of n square and space complexity is also order of n square. So from the first discussion it was order of n cubed, we brought it down to order of n square, the sum, space complexity and time complexity. So if you have any further questions on this, please post them in the comment section below this video. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can find the code in the GitHub repository. You can find the link from the description below this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe and share among your friends as much as you can. Please click on the bell icon so that you will be notified about all my future videos. Thank you for watching. I will be back with another problem very soon. Till then, stay safe and goodbye.